So can anyone tell me what was covered yesterday? A history?
Now, lastly, we have covered up to vectors, different functions of vectors.
Yes, vectors. What do you mean by a vector now? You can look into the answers I gave yesterday.
Ma'am, it's a data frame.
Yeah, data structure, not a frame. Data frame is a type of data structure. Okay. Remember, what are the data types? You have, see, something called in the basics of R, you have to always remember what are the data types, then what are the data structures, and then what are the loops, certain special kind of operations, which is very, special for R. Okay. So what are the types of data types in R?
It's integers and strings
And
and like Boolean type. It's a false true.
yeah, logical. It's called logical.
Logical variants, complex that has mathematical.
Yes. And character or string. So how would I define a string vector of strings or string vectors? What do you mean by string vectors here now?
It's like encoded by double quoted or single quoted.
Yeah, double quoted or single quoted. Yes, and it's usually text or character. Yeah, good. Okay then. So today we'll first look into loops first. Okay, and then we'll go with the other data structures. We'll rush it fast so that we can spend a good amount of time on the graphics. Okay. So coming to loops. Okay. Yesterday we had done one loop. Remember, you had square, flower brackets, square brackets, curved brackets. So it's very important that you give space, you give into a next line also. Okay. So what does loop means? Loop can execute a block of code as long as a specified condition is reached. That means now you're asking the code, okay, if this is the condition, then you give the result or this kind of result you give. So you're basically speaking with R, do this, do that, but technically coding here. Okay. So we'll see while loop and for loop with example. Okay. We'll start with simple example. Later we'll see where certain complex examples will also be there, but we'll push that to the last. Okay. So for example, now everybody able to see my screen, right? Start with a variable. Say assign a variable called A and give it some value. I'm give it a value of 6. Now I am going to use the while loop. That is while my A is greater than 7. Now come out of the curved bracket and give a space and start your flower bracket. Okay. So here I'll say shift enter. Now what happens if you do a shift enter? It will enter the next line. If you don't use the shift button, what happens? That greater than symbol your will come back. So you can't execute the code. So shift enter. Now say print A. Okay. Again, shift enter. Now I'm giving a condition here. A should be A plus 6. Okay. I'm saying shift enter again. Shift enter. If A is exactly equal to, so exactly equal to, you have to use double equal marks. And then say 6. Okay. And then I'm again using another flower bracket. Shift enter and say break. Now you have completed the code. Why? Because you have completed the proper flower brackets here. That's the reason why you use shift enter here. And if you see, oh, I'm so sorry, gone. I have to again click. Sorry, I'll do this again. Meanwhile, you can execute the code and let me know what is the result you're getting.
Ma'am, the answer is 6.
Yeah.
Ma'am, answer is 6, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
6.
Okay. Say, suppose you change those numbers. Just play with those numbers. Say instead of A, give it A as 6, you give it as 1. Okay. And say that while A is less than 6 and change print A. After that, the third equation which you get A, assign it A plus 1. And if should be here A should be equal to 4 and then give the break and try. What is the answer you'll get? Let me know.
Is it 1, 2, 3, ma'am?
You should let others also check. Even I'll do this once. Wait. 1 shift while mind your spaces. Yes, it is 1, 2, and 3. Here, what you're doing is that the loop will stop at 3 because we have chosen to finish the loop by using the break statement when A is equal to 4. Okay. Say suppose we'll make it simple. Repeat the above code without the break statement. Okay. So that means I have to modify here, remove your flower brackets with break and if also, and see what is the answer you're getting this time. I'm saying repeat the above code, remove if and break statements, and then enter. What's the answer you're getting? Are you getting the same answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 instead of just 1, 2, 3? Hello, hello. Am I audible or am I the only person here?
Can you repeat the tip
Yes,
again, please?
ma'am. Getting the same.
Getting the same means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or what?
Yes, ma'am. 1, 2, 3,
Yes,
4,
ma'am. 1,
5.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. Someone asked me to repeat. What I'm doing is
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
simplifying the code here. In the first code, what I did, just a second, I'll just zoom in. Okay, you are able to see it more clear here. See, I said this is the loop I had given. What? If A is greater than 6, print A until what number you are saying? Until you reach, you are telling it to break it until you reach the number 4. That means what will happen here? It will print out the numbers 1, 2, 3 only. That means it should be less than 6 we have given, right? So it will give 1, 2, 3. For the same code, what I did, the previous ones, I removed the break option, break and if options, and then executed the code again. Now see what is the answer you're getting? You're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you're saying if, I want an answer where A is less than 6 and it should be a value more than the first one. That means A plus 1. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2. So how many values you'll get? Less than 6 means 5 values. That's the output you have got. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, I'll paste you a simple code in the WhatsApp. Execute and let me know what is the answer you're getting. What is the answer you're getting?
Ma'am, no Yatizi for 5 times. And the
What is
last
it?
one is only Yatizi.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so you can just work out with the loops here. Okay, we'll go with the next one. Mm, see, suppose you're using a loop on a vector. Say, for example, I'm pasting another code for you in in the WhatsApp. Try it out. For month, in 1:5, print paste month and month. Got it?
Ma'am, month 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now you're trying to add more seasons to this. So try another code I'm sending you and see how you're adding extra columns here. So you can use another if and else loop also. I'm posting another one. Just let me know what you're getting.
Ma'am, winter month 1 and 2 and spring month 3, 4, 5.
Yes. So everybody getting a hang of using your codes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now we'll move on to the next one. See, this is all very exhaustive. You can just play around a lot of codes you can do. So I'll just give a brief on this. You'll encounter them when you're doing it in swirl exercises. If ever you have issues, just post it in the group, okay? But make sure you're finishing those swirl exercises. You'll become more confident in typing, okay? Typing the code in R. And trust me, I'm pretty sure after doing coding in R, the next session you're going to have in the next week with Prash sir in Python, you will be pretty confident using, coding even there. Okay. Of course, the codes will be different slightly, but you'll notice that you're pretty much comfortable. You're not so scared as earlier. It looks like, as if it's Greek and Latin. Python, you would start appreciating and, you'll start enjoying the coding part. Got this? So we'll start with we'll come back to our data structures. We'll finish the data structures and move on to the plots. Okay. So yesterday we had dealt with vectors. Now today we'll be talking about lists, matrices, arrays, data frames, and R factors. Now, what do you mean by list? A list in R can contain many different types of data inside it. And it is a collection of data which is ordered and it can be changeable. Now, to create list, you use the function list list in brackets. Okay. Now, suppose you're creating a list now. You can make your own name. Okay, I'll say XYZ as my name of the variable. Sorry, name of my data structure. And I'm using list and I'm making a, say now I'm using names here, text here. So that will be in either double inverted quote or single inverted quote also, but definitely in quote only. So apple, banana, smile. Just give anything. Okay. Now when I say XYZ, you'll get your list of the all the names given. Okay. So just like yesterday, you can access just first one, second one, third one. How would you do that? How would you access? Just you want to say, suppose I only want to get an output of the first name in the list. How would you do that?
Ma'am, XYZ square bracket 1.
Yes,
For the first
exactly. Good. And suppose I want to know the length of my, variables in the, length. How would you use that? How many items there?
XYZ.
Yeah, length and XYZ. Okay, so length will give you, length will give you what? What would be the output if you use length? Try it.
Ma'am, it will be 3.
Yeah, that means the number of number of items present in your list. Okay. Say suppose you want to ask a logical question. You want to ask a question, to R saying, is apple there in my list? So how would you go about? You'll say apple. First, you're asking R, apple. Here you use shift 5. That is the percentage symbol. In. Close that percentage symbol and give the name of your variable data frame XYZ. Okay. Then enter. It will say if it is present, it say true. If it's not there, it will give you a false answer. So you can logically ask the question here to R. If I'm looking for, say, suppose I'm looking for capital app, instead of small a, I'll use capitals, APPLE. Okay. Sorry. Space. Your percentage symbol in. In. Close the close it with percentage symbol again in my XYZ. So what is the answer I'm getting? This time it's coming as false. Say suppose you want to add another item to the same data structure list. I can use the function append. APPEND. ND, append to what? What is a list to which you want to add extras data? That is XYZ, comma. Now I want to add something called orange. ORANGE. Okay. Now see, you added orange also into this list.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, what is the function of append?
Append means to add.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Say suppose I want to add it after apple or after banana. So I can even add that. I can add it exactly in which order I want to add. So to the same previous function, I'll call another after. Say I want to add it after banana instead of it to be the fourth one item. So I can say enter. Now you can see after second one, after banana, orange has come. Say suppose I want to add it after apple. So you can see it is after apple, you'll get this result. And say suppose you want to remove the orange pack and you want only the 3 names to be there. So what I can do is I create another list. Okay. So instead of XYZ, I'll say XY. Okay. And from XYZ list, okay, I'm removing the first one. I'm removing the second one, apple, orange. So square brackets -2. Now click on XY, your new list. You won't have, it removed two of them, two names out of it. So orange and banana it has removed. So that's how you can add in and remove. You can similarly add in 2 lists. Say for example, I'm adding list 1 and creating this with only a list of characters A, B, C. This is list 1. And I'm creating another list 2. And this time I'm only using the list with numbers. So numbers need not be there in quotes. So 1, 2, 3. Now I can combine this 2 lists into list 3 by simple C option, C. Okay, combine list 1, list 2. Now click on list 3. You can see you have A and B and C followed by 1 and 2 and 3. And did you observe the way the list is coming out as an output? Say suppose instead of list, I'm creating the variable X as 1, 2, 3. Oh, see, I have to combine here. See here, it will give the output as in the first line only, there are 3 outputs, 1, 2, and 3. Whereas the list gives out in a very different way. It says in the first one, you'll have A. In the second one, again, it is considered only there is one variable. It is giving as B. And third one, again, there is only one here as C. So on and so forth. So that is the difference between the data frame when you create simple ones to that of the list. Got this? Observe those small nuance.
Repeat it once again.
Okay. Create a simple variable using the combine option. Yesterday we learned, right? So create it simply and see what is the output you're getting. How the output it is getting? You're getting it as first one, like in a square bracket, followed by your 1, 2, 3 numbers. Yes or no?
Yes.
Whereas same one, instead of X, I'm saying Y. Okay. Instead of saying the word what is it called? C, I'm using it 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now look into the output, how it is giving. Check. You seeing the difference in the way the output is coming?
Ma'am,
Yes.
Yes.
could you just show the code for the list?
List. I told you, na, you just have to create any variable, and instead of C for combine, you're saying make a list of 1, 2, and 3 items. That's it. I've shown you. See, you're able to see the code I've just given now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, do that. So this is a different data structure. Did you see this? The structure of when you're combining 1, 2, 3. This is the one 1, 2, 3 in square brackets in horizontal way. Whereas when you make a list of 1, 2, 3, it's coming in a vertical way. That's what I mean to say. That is why this is a different data structure. For the same 1, 2, 3, see how it is different. Okay, everybody now, instead of 3 numbers, first time for an X variable, combine with 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then for Y, make a list with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and check your outputs. The next one will be matrix. Your third type of data structure will be matrix. Okay. Now you will see how the data structure is differing here when we do it in matrix. Okay. Everybody just give me okay. Just tell me okay if you're done with X. Yeah. Thank you. Let me also do this. 1:6 X, whereas Y list with 1:6 X. See, if I'm using a ratio of 1:6, now it is giving it in a single row. So I have to only give it like list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Now we'll go into matrix. Now matrix is like two-dimensional data where you have columns and rows. Now see what happens if we gave the same numbers in a matrix. Now the difference is you call it the data frame as Z. So not data frame, data structure is Z. And you're calling in the function of matrix here. Earlier, what was the function we called for list? It is list. Okay. Whereas for combine, it is C. For matrix, you call the function as matrix and open the brackets. But still, you have to say combine using which numbers? You combine with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're saying use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only, but come out of that option here and then comma. Now you have to say how many rows and how many columns. For that, NROW, that means number of rows. So click for matrix and you can decide how many you want to create. and then number of columns, NCOL. So if you see, you are getting three options here: matrix, base, and base. Only use it for matrix. Don't use the one for the base. And say 2. Now execute this and click on Z. The output you'll see like this. Let me know if you are able to see this or do this.
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts here?
Ma'am, I have a doubt in the previous list thing that you had showed. So you typed in Y and you made it list 1:6. Ma'am, why
Yeah.
didn't it come in the form of a list? Why did it come horizontally?
I think it's considering that first column as, and when you are giving it as a ratio, it's saying, ratio means it is considering, you consider the first line to have numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 instead of a list in a horizontal way.
Okay, so when we are putting it in for a list, it's preferable to have all the variables
Individually, yes. Individually, yes. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. You can also modify the same previous code. Instead of 3 rows, I'm saying 2 rows and 3 columns. You can just mix and match and see what you're getting. So now see, it is a 2 by 3 matrix I'll call. Earlier we call it as 3 by 2 matrix. 3 rows and 2 columns. 3 by 2 matrix. Now this time I've created 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. You may ask me, ma'am, why would we use matrix? Why would we want to complicate our data like this? If you have in bioinformatics, remember your blossom matrices, etc., especially for alignments. You have P32, P252. Remember or recall? You had some table like this only.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So for a combination of data where you are, trying to mix and match, okay, especially you see the alignment is based on if this first amino acid is same as the amino acid in the table, it will give you 0. Otherwise, it's 1, something like that. So it's all matrix based. And even advanced, complex data. Say, suppose you are doing your brain imaging or a ECG test. Okay. So the data which comes out, say, suppose you want to take it in a format of Excel, the data that comes out, will be in the form of matrices. So matrix actually makes your life easier, even though it looks complex. But advanced complex data will be usually in the frame of in the structure of matrix only. So that's why working on matrix also is very, very important. Okay. Now let's make a matrix. Now you have made a matrix of numbers, right? Let's make a matrix of characters. Okay. So I'll create another matrix A. You can also do it. Use 4 characters. Use the same code instead of C. After C, what do you have to do? Quotes. Use quotes to create each variable. So I'd say apple, comma, B for ball, comma, C for cat, comma, D for dog. Okay. And then you have to come out of the combination of your list and say how many rows and columns. Now since it's 4, I can say 2 by 2. Okay. N row should be 2, comma, N col should be 2. Execute it and click on your data. What happens is just like you have multiplication tables, right? 1 1s are 1, 2 1s are 2. It matrix also you can, these say suppose this is 3 by 2 matrix and 2 by 3 matrix. You can add these matrices. You can multiply these matrices. All the operations you do on simple numbers, you can as well do with this matrices also. I don't know how many of you are from maths background, but in inter it will come for those with maths, matrix lessons. Okay, so what happens is the first number is divided by first. Say suppose multiplication or addition is done. Your first number in matrix 1 is added to the first number in matrix 2, and so on and so forth. So there are certain conditions, etc., will be there. So this is matrix. Okay. Today what I'll do, I'll just, since you know how to create matrix, I'll give you the, just like in the morning, I'll give you some codes, execute on your, in the group later after this session, and see how to work with matrix. Agreed?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The same thing, how to remove columns, how to add columns, and how can you do a looping, and how to know the length of matrix, how to know the dimensions of matrix. Dimensions means number of rows and number of columns. Okay, and how to combine two matrix. That's it. So you can just do on yourself. So I'll post that in the group. If you have any issues, just post your queries in there. Okay. So next we'll go into array. Next data structure, after vectors, list, matrices, we'll go into array. So compared to matrices, arrays can have more than 2 dimensions. Usually matrices, 2 by 3 or 3 by 3 simple. It won't go with too high numbers. It will be very difficult. But yes, you can have a huge matrix, which manually can't be done, but you can teach your R language to work on such huge matrix. Okay. Now coming to array, we can use a function array. Okay. To create any array. Now array is, see, simple array is when you give that ratio. Okay. Now B. I'm assigning B. I'm saying combine 1:10. And click on B. Now you're getting your array of numbers 1 to 10. Now I can complicate this a bit. What I call this MB, I'll create another data set MB using the data, B, and here I'm calling the function array. Okay. But the data I created earlier, B, and I'm giving it the dimensions here. Dimension dim equals to, now combine with 4, 3, 2. Now this is called creating a multi-array. Now see, how does it look like? Did you see this? Did you get this?
Ma'am, can you repeat once more?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. First of all, I created a simple array. Okay. Simple array is as simple as giving 1:10, 1:100. Okay. You're just giving a ratio. So from 1:100, if you say 1, 2, 3, not comma, it will give you this array 1 to 10 as a result. Now I'm creating another array out of this array. This is called multi-array. And I'm giving it as another name, but I'm calling the function array with the numbers which is in B. But here I'm giving it a dimension. I'm saying create combine 4, 3, 2. And then when you see, you're getting very interesting results here. Okay. So the first and second number in the bracket specifies the amount of rows and columns. Okay, the 4, 3, 2. So the first and second number, 4 and 3, okay, specifies the amount of rows and columns. And the last number in the bracket, that is 2, in the bracket specifies how many dimensions we want. That is why we got 2 dimensions here. 2 different arrays here. So if you see here, what did it do? What did it do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After 10, only 10 numbers are there in your data, right? So after 10, it is again starting with 1, 2, and in the second, dimension, it is starting with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again 1, 2, 3, 4. Now repeat the same code here. Instead of 4, 3, 2, we'll say 3. We'll ask it to make 3 dimensions here. Now click on MB and you'll see there are 3 coming now. Got this?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're creating multi-arrays of data. Yes, Ramendra, correct. Any issues there? You can create even 4 dimensions also. Yes. Yes. I mean, did you post it because you have an issue there, or like? Yes, you can create any number of dimensions. True. Exactly. Okay.
But in the next dimension, it's starting from
Mhm.
1, 2, 3, 4 in the first one. Why is it starting from 3 and then onwards in the second and then 5 in the third one?
You have to see this. How is it assigning the numbers here? Okay. Say third. You didn't observe this. See, you have in the first dimension. Okay, here. First dimension, it started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After 10, it will again start with 1, 2. Now this particular array is done. Now you have ordered for 3 arrays. Now the second array will start with 3 because it is ending, the first array is ending with 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. After 10, again we will start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, here it's 4, it is ending. So the third array will start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's almost like, if you know the game, where you keep adding stones or the tamarind seeds in those holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And if you're finished, you pick one and then start adding into the next one. It's almost like this. Okay?
Understood, ma'am.
Yeah. And you can also see what is your dimension of the array you created. Okay. Dimension of my MB. It will give you the code which we have given here, 433 only. Okay. And then you can also see into the length of your array you created. It will tell you it is 36. Now 4 3s are 12. 12 plus 12 into 3, 36. So that is the number of length you're getting of your array. Done with arrays? Arrays may be mostly used. I don't know. I haven't ever used arrays. I've seen matrices quite a lot. But maybe for creating even some special structures, you may use arrays. Okay. I'll see if I can find any examples for arrays where you use for your data analysis. Okay. Next, we'll go with data frames. Everybody clear till here? Your vectors, your list, your matrices, and arrays. Now we're going with data frames. Now, data frames are usually displayed like a table. Yes, ma?
Ma'am, actually, I wanted to print like dimension till 100, but it stopped at 67 and said that reach get option, max print, omitted 2 rows and 32 matrices. Is there a maximum limit of dimensions?
Usually what happens now, it depends. Yeah, it won't show if it's there, if that, data is too much, it'll only stop here. If you want to see, it will be, what happens is your R will get stuck giving out answers. So unnecessarily don't do that. It will give, but it will take a lot of time and it will get stuck. And sometimes, your system will get heated up. So be careful you're using when you're giving 1 to 1 lakh numbers. Don't push R like that. It will, yeah.
Is it system dependent? Because Tiasha said that it stopped at 64. Mine stopped at 84. Even though I just checked it.
Yeah, system dependent, how fast your RAM works. I mean, look, how big your RAM is, how fast, how much of your data, and how good is your interconnection. Everything is matters here. Okay. So don't push your R. Yeah. Especially now that you're starting understanding how to download packages and work on R. As I told you, just like in Linux, you can also do all the kind of bioinformatic analysis also. DNA sequence analysis, RNA sequence analysis. But there's a big but here. Your system has to be really advanced for it to run. Otherwise it will keep on running, and your RAM and all this gets heated up, and sometimes it will get blasted also. Be very, very careful. Okay. So you better use certain kind of systems in cloud only. Okay. Even there also don't push your luck. They'll say you have only this limited amount of RAM to use or space to use and all. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So you have to, if suppose you want to definitely use, you shouldn't use even Word, any of other programs, close Chrome, etc. Only open R. Make sure your desktop is empty, your downloads are empty, and your drive should have huge space enough to run those commands. That's all. Okay. Now we'll go with, that's why you have this option of head and view. When you have huge data and you still want to see how your data looks like as a sample, you use the option head. Head gives out first 5 columns, first 10 columns, some 10 rows of data. That's it. It will show you in brief. Okay. Use that option. Don't go in, you don't, for huge data, don't click view and expect everything to be seen in R. Don't do that. Next, data frame. Now here, of course, you use the function called data frame. Okay. So data frame is almost like creating, adding information in your Excel. You have a cell and each cell is belonging to one row and a column. Same way. Okay. See what happens here. We'll create a data frame. I'll say data underscore frame as my name to the variable that I'm assigning, and calling in the function data.frame. Now say shift enter because I want to add many data and different columns. So I'll say fruits. For the first one, I'll say fruits equals to, that means you're giving your column name. So I'm calling it as fruits. So since fruit names would be always string, so use the combine option and create some, give some names. Apple, comma, grapes, comma, peach. Okay. Then give a comma and shift enter. Don't enter just like that. Be careful. Next, I'm giving some numbers here. I'll say num, L-U-M, equals to C, combine. Always use a option combine and say 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next, I can now see that I've finished. Enter. If your code is correct, you'll always get your greater than symbol back. Then say data frame. You can call your data frame or you can say print. So here in your environment, if you see, here, you can see it as a table, just like you see in your Excel. It's called a data frame. Okay. in the console you might not get all those lines and all, but it will be like this. See, suppose you are looking into list, see how the list is present. List is without all those lines, columns and rows. It's usually like a text format. Whereas array, if I'm not wrong, this is array. Yeah, array. No, this is matrix. This is matrix. See, matrix differs from data frame, differs from list. Okay. So your data frame is almost equivalent to the kind of data you pick from Excel. So any data you pick from Excel is usually stored as a data frame or a comma separated values. Okay. Everybody clear till here? So data frame, you might ask, what is so important? You can as well save it in a list also. But data frame has internal functions, other functions, which is easy. For example, I can say summary of my data frame. What you have here created now. Give that and click. It will give you an output saying the length is 3 of fruits. It is and all those fruits class is character, and the mode is character. Mode means what is the variable which is present more in number? It is character. Whereas for the second column, which I gave numbers, see what is the kind of information it is giving. It is giving minimum, maximum, first quartile, median, mean, and third quartile. So if you don't want to sit and use calculators and click on each option for mean, mode, etc., your life becomes easier when you use data frame, especially when you have numbers. I also access only one column at a time by simply saying calling data frame, okay, followed by dollar symbol. Shift 4, dollar symbol, and it will show you in this data frame what are the columns you have. Say suppose I only want to use now, I want to see numbers, and you click on that, you can see only the numbers. Say I want to see data frame and dollar symbol, I only want to see the fruits column. You can see what are there in my fruit columns. And I can, everybody got till here? Right. Yes. The data frame is very, very important. This, most of the statistical operations you run will be in the format of data frame. So be very, attentive and try to learn as much as possible here. So you can also add rows, add columns by using the function, calling the function rbind or cbind. Okay. For example, I want to add. Yes. Who is this? Any question to be asked? Ma'am, can you repeat the previous code for data frame? What is the previous code? I just gave data frame. See here, you can see this. Data frame. Here, I'm shift entering it, giving the name of columns you want to have, and combining with the names. I'm adding another column with numbers, numericals, and then closing. And when I click on data frame, it will show me a data frame like this, which you can also see it here. Where is this? Here. You can also see it here. And then I said I can click on data frame and dollar symbol. It will automatically show you the number of columns present in your data frame. You can click on one and see each one together, and you have something called summary. summary of data frames will give you column-wise information of your data frame. Now here I'm trying to add a, say, row. So row means, remember, I have to add it properly. For fruits, you have to add another name of a fruit, and for number, you have to add another number only. So how do I do this? I create another, I create a row saying new row, new underscore row, and use rbind. Rbind will add another row for my data called data frame. So how do I add this? Use C, combine. So first row, as I told you, should be a name of a fruit, right? So I say pear in quotes, comma, the second column will have a number. So I'll add 50 as my number. Okay. Now click on new row. You'll see another row has been added, fourth row. Similarly, you can add an extra column also. Say, how do you add a column? With cbind. So each time what happens is you're creating another data. So your original data frame will always be like that. You will not modify that. You'll add to that and give it a new name. Okay, that's why you always need to give new name. So I'll say new underscore column will be my new data frame, which I am using to create a column extra for already the existing data frame, comma. Now this time you have to, give it a name, right? So I have to give a name here. So first the name. Say I'll say vegetable, so veggie. Okay. Here I'll say equals to. So veggie should have what? Again, C, combine. So I'll give a name as tomato. Oh, sorry. Use quotes, tomato, comma, potato, comma, brinjal. Now, if you see new, you'll see I've added extra column with the name of my veggies. Got this, everybody?
What is the difference between rbind and cbind?
Rbind is here. Rbind, I've added extra row here. See, fourth one, pear and 50. Earlier, what was my data frame? It was only it only ended with peach and number 3. Yeah. Whereas column, you're adding extra column here. So earlier we didn't have vegetable column, right? Now you're able to see the vegetable column. You can see it here. Wait. See? Extra veggie. Whereas end row, extra pear and 50. Got this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So we'll finish off with our class with the factors, the last data structures. So remember, these are all the ways of creating data inside R, either arrays, matrices, lists, vectors, data frames. So the last one would be factors. Factors are used to categorize data. Okay. For example, what kind of music you have? What are the different kinds of music you have? You categorize them, right? You have classical, you have rock, you have pop, etc., etc. Similarly, how many kinds of gender we have? Male, female, neutral, right? So these are all factors. So you can categorize them. So now, how do you create factor? You call in the function factor. See, I'm saying music. I'm creating a music. Okay. Okay. And say I'm calling the function called factor. So here you combine it with the text classical, comma, rock, comma, pop, okay, etc., etc. Now click on music. See, it will say you have these levels: classical, pop, and rock. It will give you extra information saying this is the level you have in this particular variable. And it's not represented here in the data in your left hand environment, global environment. See, your music is it's there, but now I don't think it'll be visible. It is just a value here. You are assigning a value in the terms of levels here. Okay, so that is the difference between, see, in your R environment, in the left hand right hand upper ones environment, you'll see what are the different kinds of data you have. So you have data frame, list, and you have used some new call. These are all data, and then you have values. Earlier you asked a question, right? Why 1:6 is showing as integers like this? Why it is coming in a single row? Because it is taking it as a value, okay, not as each variable there. Then you have function. So this is how data is usually represented. Different types of data is looks like in R. So usually for say suppose factors, you will be using it to create an extra. You want to categorize your given in a given column you have certain, for example, weight. So you even weight also can be categorized, right? It can be underweight, normal, overweight, obese, etc. So all these categories can be created using the factor, function factor. Got this?
Ma'am, could you repeat factors function again once more?
It will just create levels. Just I told you, right? Okay. If I've told you weight, okay, how would you weigh weight in kilos, right? 50 kilos, 55 kilos, and then you create an BMI. You use height and weight, and you get BMI. Now you'd like to know whether your BMI falls under, is it normal? Is it underweight? Is it overweight? What? So those categories, so levels can be created using the data structure called factors. It's more of applicative part rather than something you look at. So we'll combine in data frames and factors. Especially you'll use it while doing some statistic data analysis on your given data. Then factors will be used. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Some things you learn more by experience rather than I keep telling the same thing again and again. Okay. Definition will not change, but yeah. I'll try to give some examples in the groups later and then you can look into it, okay? You're not getting. Why didn't you get this, Romita? What happened? You didn't close the final bracket, Romita. C bind, what happens? You open one set of brackets. After that, you are inserting a column with combine. So with another set of brackets. So after your new call, where is the closed bracket there? It is not there. That's why you're not getting it. Yeah, close the bracket. See here. Where is it? See? You should end with two brackets here, not one bracket. That's why not get. So be very, very careful. Every bracket, every space, every dot, everything matters. Yeah. Kritika has given you that. Okay, so next week, I think you'll all be busy with Python, right? If I'm not wrong. People there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
We'll do
ma'am.
it, ma'am.
Yeah, so I'll only keep giving you, small assignment. I'll create a Google form and give you a set of questions. Everybody have to answer on their own by coding it and giving, and marking the answer and submit those for the next week. So that will be your, what do you say, assessment or work for the next week. Okay, I'll give the time till Saturday for you to submit those forms. So you can do it on your own leisure. But mind you, it will not be, and it will, the range will be there. Simple, easy to do codes to combination of codes to get an answer. So it will be a bit tricky.
So, ma'am, it will be questions and we have to do and copy paste it.
No. What I'll do is I'll give a question and a set of answers. If you only do a certain code, then only you'll get to you will come up with the correct answers. You'll I'll make a combination of everything. Okay, you can even certain questions I'll say you just post the code, etc. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So after next week, that is we'll be meeting mostly on May 8th. May 8th, that week. May 9th, 10th, and 11th. Everybody okay with this, or do you have any exams or whatever? How many of you have exams during May 8th, after May 8th, during that week?
Ma'am, lab exam on 10th.
Yeah, after coming home, you won't have exam at 6 o'clock, 6 to 7, you can just enjoy and relax with R. I'm not giving exams, no. Okay, try attending it. It's fun. Hope everybody is not, getting pressurized to work on R. Right?
Ma'am, a lot of us have our cat too around that time, ma'am, starting from 7th May for a week.
Cat, how many of you are writing it?
Everybody from MSc.
Mm-hmm. All of them?
Yeah.
All of you? Okay, we'll
Yes,
decide.
ma'am. All. Ma'am, MSc.
We'll discuss in the
MSc
group
students
and.
have.
Okay. So we'll discuss in the group and come up with, next date. Okay? Is that fine?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Only thing is keep practicing. Otherwise, as I told you, it's very easy to forget. And whatever code you do, put it on a Google Doc or, paper or pen. Use a paper and pen, write it. Because as I told you, you'll find it useful. Otherwise, you'll have to start and write from day one. Okay? Any
Ma'am,
doubts?
how many do you have to complete, ma'am? All 15? Or
if you are, confident enough now to code, yes, you can do it. I'd be very happy if you do it. Do it, help others. When you teach others, you learn more. Okay, try it. I want to say don't do it. Explore, no problem. And if you are stuck anywhere, just post it. You just tell me which chapter you are in. I'll just check it and I'll help you with that. No issues there. Everybody can, do all the assignments in the swirl exercise. The more you do, the comfortable and confident you'll be become to use R. So next session will be, now these are the basics. These are the basics. So we'll be moving on to the bit of advanced versions where you start creating graphs. You start using statistics. Okay. Any doubts still here?
no, ma'am.
Okay then.
No, ma'am.
Okay. See you all. Meet you all again. So keep on. If someone comes across some interesting code, just post it in so that everybody else will also try those. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Bye all.